Okay, we've been on a bit of a hiatus of Tehillim. I hope with all of the things going on in the world and in people's personal lives, you survived without a Tehillim shir. But I'm sure that as you're saying the Tehillim each and every single day and remembering things that we learn about over here, Be'ez Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should hear all of your tefillos. Now we left off in a very auspicious Tehillim, which is Tzadi Aleph number 91. And we mentioned that this is a Tehillim that we've been saying already since October 7th. It's all about HaKadosh Baruch Hu's protection, how He watches over Klal Yisrael. He becomes a fortress for us. He is our refuge that we can run to and we can, so to speak, hide in and make sure that we're going to be protected. And we left off, if I'm not mistaken, anyway, we're going to start from Pasuk test number 9 today, and we're going to speak about these ideas more in depth. And the verse says like this: Ki ata Hashem machzi elyon. Hashem, you have become my refuge, elyon, the Most High. Samta me'onecha, the support of your life, which means that you made Hashem, who is my refuge, the Most High, the support of my life, meaning Klal Yisrael down here. We are responsible for making HaKadosh Baruch Hu the source of our refuge and the strength that we're going to have. Meaning, even though that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always watching us, and Hashem is there for us, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the protection of all of Klal Yisrael, that's true. But unless you recognize that, and unless you make Hashem that, it's not going to work so simply. And Rav Hirsch writes over here, this is Moshe Rabbeinu speaking to Klal Yisrael. And Moshe says, I lived a life where I put all of my trust in Hashem. And the rest of mankind looks at God as just Elyon, and He's like above and beyond the Most High. He's above all of this that's going on in the world. However, I myself, Moshe Rabbeinu, understand that Hashem is right down here in the world together with us. And he says that you, Klal Yisrael, you made Hashem ma'enecha, you made HaKadosh Baruch Hu the support of your life. He's the foundation and support of your existence. And this foundation upon which you placed all of your life on earth, that will afford you protection from all trouble and hurt. What does that mean? That means that even though that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Elyon, He's lofty, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is watching over everything, and Hashem can see from one end of the world to the other all of the time. He's not lacking any ability. But it's only when Klal Yisrael recognizes who HaKadosh Baruch Hu really is. It's only when we see Hashem as the master of the universe that is watching over us, and He's taking care of us, and He's involved in our life, that's when you're going to be zeicha, that's when you'll merit to have more of Hashem's protection in your life. The more that you believe, and the more that you recognize, and the more that you thrust yourself towards Hashem, the more you're going to see HaKadosh Baruch Hu is taking care of you in your life. And this is really one of the ideas over here that is said by Rav Gamliel Rabinovich. He says the following idea. Okay, well, we'll see in the next verse. So the next verse is like this: no trouble that is designated for you. V'nega no trouble that will be designated for you, nor shall any finger of Hashem come near your tent. Which means once that you put your faith in Hashem, and you believe that He's taking care of everything, and He's watching over you, and everything is good, so then says Moshe Rabbeinu, you have nothing to worry about. No trouble at all is going to come your way. Says Rav Hirsch, Le'seuna means Hashem designates. Ra'ah, evil, means social evil. And nega, like we just had in last week's parsha, nega tsaras is the bodily pain that a person is going to receive when they do the wrong thing. And he says like this: it's true that HaKadosh Baruch Hu can decree trouble and bodily pain on mankind, but none of that is going to be directed towards you. it will remain far from your own family life. The more that Klal Yisrael aligns itself with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the more that we are ma'aminim, we believe in Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is watching over us. So then even though there are going to be repercussions in this world for the way that people are acting and behaving, but Hashem is going to do a miracle for us. He's going to keep all of that away from who we are. And that's this is what Rav Gamliel Rabinovich writes, Ki ata Hashem machasi, you Hashem, you are my refuge. No evil is going to befall us. And no blemish, no pain is going to end up affecting our tents. Says Rav Gamliel the following idea. Adam sheinu masiach es machshavasa l'regem Hashem yizbarach. A person that doesn't take their mind off of Hashem for even a moment. Okay, it's a tall order. Our minds, we wish that we could even think about Hashem for a moment and take our mind off of everything else that's running through there that we can't take our minds off. But again, if a person will get to the place of Amunah, where they're constantly thinking about Hashem, so that you get to a place where you feel that you're actually standing with the Ribbono Shel Olam, and you're talking directly to Him. When you get to a place in your life where you feel Hashem's presence, and you feel that you're standing with Him, and when you are davening, when you need to speak to Him, you can just open your mouth and He's right there. Then you are guaranteed that Hashem is going to be your source of refuge and protection. And that's what it means over here. No bad is going to befall you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu mashkiach alav. Hashem will watch over you. V'al kol bnei beisa, and all the people of your family. V'bal yovei aleim kol davar. No bad should end up befalling your family. V'kol nega machla. No nega, no pain, no machala, no sickness. And we're learning how great is Amunah, a person that truly believes in Hashem. Through your Amunah, a person is going to be saved. And along with him, all of the people of his family. From all evil, from all bad things, from all nega, from all pain and suffering, and all machala and any sickness. In the schus of Amunah, a person should never underestimate how powerful their Amunah is. A person they can be redeemed, and they can be rescued and remedied from anything in life. Amunah is far beyond. I just heard a Maisa recently. I think the story is about Rav Yisrael Brag, who's one of the grandchildren of Rabbi Avigdor Miller Zatzal. He's very big into Amunah and Bitachon. I would say probably most of the shirim that he has that you can listen to are all on Amunah and Bitachon. He's very big into this. He doesn't believe in anything besides Hashem. So he once was not feeling so well, and he came to the doctor, and the doctor didn't like what he saw, and he sent him for a battery of tests. And he called him back a few days later, whatever it might have been, and Rabbi Brown comes in with his wife, and the doctor comes in, of course, with that solemn face, and he begins telling him the terrible, terrible prognosis and diagnosis that is in store for him because of what they found in the exams. His wife begins crying, and Rabbi Brag is smiling. And the doctor is looking at the man. He's like condemning him to, his life is over. Even if he's going to get better, what he's going to have to go through, the treatments and the this and the that and everything. And Rabbi Brag he's smiling. And the doctor says, "Excuse me, Rabbi, why are you smiling? I just told you what's going to happen to you. Why are you smiling?" So he said, because I'm looking at the wall behind you, and I see all of your diplomas and all of your degrees and everything they say about you. He said, "But that's you. I don't have to listen to you. I listen to the Ribbono Shel Olam. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that's in charge of everything. And Hashem is the one that makes sick, and Hashem is the one that heals, and Hashem is the one with all the signs on the back of the wall behind him. He's been around for a long time. He knows what he's doing. I'm not worried. You're saying one thing, but you know what? It's in the hands of Hashem. I don't really have to listen to what you have to say. So the doctor says, Rabbi, you don't understand. I'm an expert. This is my field. I know what I'm talking about. And he said, Hashem is also an expert. And he knows what he's doing. I'm not worried. The wife is crying. And he tells his wife, don't worry. We have HaKadosh Baruch Hu on our side. Don't worry. And sure enough, as Rabbi Bragg continued to place all of his trust in the Ribbono Shel Olam, so they were going to get ready to do some kind of procedure, and he asked them a favor. Do me a favor. Before you do the procedure, he said, I want to see if my doctor upstairs, I want to see how he's taking care of me. He said, can you just retest me to make sure that it has to be done? And they retest him, and sure enough, whatever they saw in the initial results disappeared completely. And the doctor said, I don't understand this. I'm the expert. I know what's going on. I saw. He said, I told you. That's your diplomas and your decrees, but Hashem is the one who runs the world. Says Rav Gamliel Rabinovich, you don't understand how deep Amunah is. Amunah alters your whole existence. It alters your life because you are now connected to Hashem and you're connected to His world. When we're weak in our Amunah and we're struggling in our belief and our bitachon, our trusting in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so then we're in this world and we are subject to all the people and the things of this world. And the doctors and Dr. Google, whatever they say, we're subject to them. But when I live in the world of Amunah, I'm in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's world. And in Hashem's world, there's no limits. There's nothing holding him back. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can literally do anything and everything that he wants. And therefore, Ki'ata Hashem Machzi, you are HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are my stronghold, you're my fortress, you're the one that I trust in, and therefore no bad is going to befall such a person. That's the koyach, that is the power of Amunah that a person could reach. The next pasuk, number 11, Ki malachav yitzavelach, for he will instruct his angels. Hashem is going to instruct his angels on your behalf. Lishmorcha b'chol darachecha, to keep you in all of your ways. Says Rav Hirsch, the messengers that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has in this world, his malachim, his angels, that are able to come down and inflict suffering and pain on earth if they have to, the same malachim, the way that Hashem has his cast of angels in Shemayim, he can charge them to come and take care of you and watch over you and protect you in all of your ways. You could literally be walking around everywhere that you go in life with malachim, with angels surrounding you. If a person in the schus of their emunah will explain it the way that Rav Gamliel is explaining, in the schus of emunah, which is Anochi Hashem Elokecha, it's the first mitzvah that there is in the Torah. That means every time that you exercise your emunah, you're getting one of the greatest mitzvahs in the Torah. Every time that you do a mitzvah, you are creating for yourself malachim, angels. And those angels, they will accompany you and they will create like a force field of kedusha that surrounds you. So therefore says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you're a maimin, if you believe in me, and you trust in me with your bitachon, and you know that I'm your fortress and I can do anything, you have nothing to worry about and nothing to fear, so then I will send malachim, I will send my angels down to this earth to watch over you and protect you and make sure that you are kept in all of your ways safe from harm and destruction and pain and suffering and the like. Wouldn't you like to walk around with malachim everywhere that you go? Wouldn't you like to know that in the great city of angels, Los Angeles, it's not just tongue-in-cheek, it's for real. You could have a city of angels all around you all of the time. This pasuk reminds me of a story that happened to my wife and I 24 years ago, a little bit more than 24 years ago. My wife and I were heading from Baltimore to New York. We're supposed to go for Shabbos to New York. And we had our oldest son at the time, and my wife was expecting our second child. And we were on the road, and as we're traveling along the road from Baltimore to New York, it's about a 3.5-hour drive probably. I mean, if I would be able to drive as fast as I wanted to, it would have been probably 2.5-hour drive, but you know, try to be a good husband and drive at the speed that my wife likes. So we're driving along the way, and my son in the back, in his car seat, begins crying. He wants to be nursed. So I told my wife, so just climb in the back and nurse him. So, you know, we're like on the road already. She says, no, you have to pull over. I said, we're on the beltway, like heading toward the turnpike. There's nowhere to pull over. No, you have to pull over. I'm not going to climb into the back. We have to go find some place to nurse. Fine. I finally find an exit. I get off at the exit, and I try to pull into some big parking lot. There's like I can't find an entrance in the parking lot. I'm driving, and as I'm driving, I pull into a side street. And as I pull into the side street, I need to turn around, and I pull into a driveway so I can turn my car around and go back to get into a parking lot where we'll have some privacy that my wife can nurse. I pull into the drive in the middle of nowhere, like in Hicktown, in the middle of nowhere, and the license plate in the driveway says Psalm 91. This psalm over here, Psalm 91. So my wife and I look at that, whoa, Psalm 91, like what are the chances of one driveway in the middle of nowhere you pull into, Psalm 91? So my wife, being a big tzaddikas, she pulls out her Tehillim. She looks, she says, look at that, Psalm 91, Ki malacha v'tzavelach, the angels will accompany you, protection, Hashem will take care of us today. Great, amazing. She says the whole Tehillim. We go into some parking lot somewhere, she nurses the baby, and then we get on our way. As we're on the way, so you get to a certain point, okay, so it's time to say Tefillah Saderech. The prayer, the traveler's prayer. So my wife is saying Tefillah Saderech, and in some prints there's like extra things that you could say. And as my wife is going through the extra stuff, she says, hey, look at that. Ki malacha v'yitzavelach lishmorcha b'chol derechecha. Psalm 91. Hashem is going to instruct His angels on your behalf to keep you in all of your ways. Wow. She says, we must have very special protection today. Amazing, Baruch Hashem. You could use protection everywhere that you go. We're driving along, and someone gave me, it was in the olden days where there's something called the cassette that you put in your tape player in the car. Someone had given me a number of tapes from the Rosh Hashiva of Mir, of Nosson Finkel Zatzal. He used to give a shir, I think, on Friday mornings to the American boys, and so the shir were in English, and it was his, like, hashkafa, his outlook on life. This particular shir was all about tefillah, about prayer. And he says in this shir, without tefillah, without prayer, there is no hatzlacha, there is no success in life. And this line was just like lingering, and he had Parkinson's, and he had a very his voice, hard to speak. Without tefillah, there is no hatzlacha. And we're like, wow, that's an amazing thing. We already said Psalm 91 once. Now we said this Psalm 91 twice over here. So we're diving to Hashem. It's all about tefillah. Amazing. We're driving down the turnpike at this point. Everything is fine. Baby is quiet. Music is probably out in the car. Or no, now we're whatever this year. And we're driving. Everything is good. And then heading off to New York. Now this is part of the story that only I know. And this is why the rest happens. We're driving down, and there's a car parked on the side of the turnpike. The car broke down on the side of the turnpike. And as we're getting close, we can see that it's a frum couple. And it's actually a couple that was in yeshiva and kollel with me. And from far away, I can see who it is. It's a person that I didn't like very much, because he wasn't nice to me when I was a bacher in yeshiva. He was really, I didn't like the way that he treated me. And as we're like getting closer, I see who it is. My wife is like, slow down. They're a poor couple. They're on the side of the road. They need help. I was like, oh, whoops. I went too fast. I couldn't stop. I'm so sorry. Well, my wife didn't go for that. She's like, you have to get off at the next stop. We have to go back and help them. It's Erev Shabbos. Who knows what's going on? Let's see if we can help them. I said, no, it's okay. We're already going. I'm sure the AAA, something, they'll get so. And she keeps telling me, no, you have to get off. Finally, it was like a very long time till the next exit. We get off. I turn around, I go back onto the turnpike, and I'm now driving in the opposite direction. So he's like on this side, I'm driving now this way, and as we're driving towards the other direction, I see that Baruch Hashem, already a cop stopped over there, or a AAA, whatever it was. He's saying, I told my wife, you see, he's taken care of. Okay, we tried. Now I have to get back off the turnpike and go back onto the turnpike. And I get back on. And now already I'm getting a little bit tense because it's Erev Shabbos. And now we've just added a half an hour to our trip. And I don't like traveling when it gets too close to Shabbos. So what do you do when you get tense about, you speed up. So it starts drizzling. And I start speeding up. And we have to go through, getting onto one side of the turnpike, we have to go like this. A turn that's going to go like this. To the right. And I'm speeding way too fast to go around that turn. And I didn't realize with the wet road and how fast I'm going. And the next thing I know, as I'm making the turn to the right, I lose total control of the car. We have my wife next to me, who's pregnant, and a baby in the back, and I've lost total control of the car. And I'm trying to remember, what did I learn when I was in driving school? You turn into the skid, you turn away from the skid, and I'm trying, and I'm like, oh boy. And my wife screams out, Hashem Yirachem! Hashem, have mercy on us! And as the car is sliding off the side of the road, suddenly, bang! I hit something, and the car stops. And my wife is heaving, and my son in the back doesn't realize what's going on. And I'm like, oh, Baruch Hashem, we're fine, okay, let's go. She's like, let's go. What happened to the car? I get out of the car, and literally, I'm not kidding, literally, we're at the side of the road, and there was a drop, probably, I would say 15, 20 feet dropped. There's one little metal rod sticking out of the side. I don't know why it's even there. My car hit the metal rod, and it like turned, and the wheel broke underneath the car, and the car stopped just there. We were literally like an inch, if not less, from tumbling off the side of the road and tumbling down. Rahman al-Zan, lo aleinu. And my wife screamed out, Hashem Yirachem, Hashem have mercy on us, and the car stopped right there. So the wheel is broken under the car. I said, I guess we're not going anywhere. We call AAA, whatever we call, and they come and they tow our car, and we're now being towed to like some junkyard, body shop, whatever it is, and we see in the junkyard tons, hundreds of cars that are totaled. And we realized that could have been us, and it wasn't us. Now it's already getting pretty late on Erev Shabbos. We're not going to make it all the way to New York. It's too late. We have a family we're very close to in Passaic. We call them up and we say, do you mind if we crash for Shabbos? They said, no, come. We go to rent a car. We rent a car, and we get back onto the road. And as we get back onto the road, I pull up behind a car, and the car is covered in, in bumper stickers. The whole back window of the car and the car, it's all bumper stickers. The one bumper sticker right in the middle that's eye level says prayer. That's it, prayer. I said to my wife, that's what, without tefillah, without prayer, there is no hatzlacha, there's no success. Tehillim 91, the angels are watching over you and protecting you everywhere that you go. My wife's crying out, Hashem Yirachem, as Mamish saved our life. And that's what we're saying over here. That if a person is a maimin, they believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they put their trust in Hashem, so then Hashem says, I will have a fleet of malachim, of angels, that are so much around you as your car is about to go over the side of the hill. And that could be, who knows what's going to be over there? One little metal pole is going to stop a car that is barreling down the side. It's going to stop it. How does that work? Only because you have angels that are surrounding you. That's what the pasuk says over here. Further, it says in pasuk Yud Beis 12, Al Kapayim Yisauncha, they'll carry you on their hands. The angels will carry you on their hands. Pentigoi ba'even raglecha, lest you hurt your foot upon a stone. Says Rav Hirsch, they'll regard you as a treasure. The angels are going to carry you like a treasure that's entrusted to them, a precious possession put into their hands by its owner, by Hashem, for safekeeping. You become the treasure in the hands of the malachim, of the angels, and they will watch over you with safekeeping, because they say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who's your owner, He entrusted us with you, and therefore we're going to take care of you the best that we possibly can. Further, I'm skipping to Yud Dalet over here, number 14, and he says like this, Kivi Chashak, for it, Klal Yisrael clings to me, says Hashem, with yearning. V'afaltehu, and therefore I will deliver them. Asagvehu, I will set it on high, ki yoda shemi, because Klal Yisrael knows my name. The reason that I'm going to take care of Klal Yisrael, the reason I'm going to watch over them, the reason that I will save them is because they are clinging to me with a cheshik, with yearning. It's not just enough, says the pasuk over here, to believe in Hashem and to say, yes, I know there's Hashem, but this that I want to grasp HaKadosh Baruch Hu and I want to be close to Him, it has to come with a cheshik, with a yearning. Says Rav Hirsch, chashak, cheshik literally means to clasp, like hugging a person or an object tightly. My desire to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be so much, I'm like hugging Him, I'm holding on to Him, I'm grasping Him with all of my might. I don't want to let go. And he writes, as others cling to physical things, Klal Yisrael clings to me, says Hashem, with fervent yearning. Yisrael knows no greater bliss than to be aware of my favor. Therefore I shall deliver it from every danger. The more that a Jew will embrace the Ribbono Shel Olam, the more that we will grab onto Him and not let go, the more that we keep Him very close to us and we keep ourselves close to Him, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's the one who appreciates me, and that's the one that is going to be saved from the danger. And therefore, Asagveu, I'll raise him up over all the earthly cares and the dangers of this world. Ki Yada Shemi, because he knows my name. That means that Klal Yisrael understands and evaluates its own life and the world around it in terms of the truth that is revealed by my name, says Hashem. They understand my wishes and my sovereignty. The more that a Jew knows the Ribbono Shel Olam, the more that he understands HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the more that he sees Hashem in his life, the more Hashem is going to send that person. We sometimes wonder, if Hashem, if you're there, why don't you send me something? Hashem says, well, what have you done for me lately? If you bring me into your life, if you enter yourself into my world, Hashem says, I can do anything. There's no shortage of what I can do. I can protect, I can save, I can heal, I can do this, I can do whatever you want. But you got to bring me in. You have to let me in. You can't just wait for Hashem to suddenly shine His grace upon you and His chesed and His mercy upon you and just sit there waiting for it. You have to be proactive and involved and engaged in the relationship. And if you want Hashem's loving embrace, you have to go and grab onto the Ribbono Shel Olam, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to let you go. Says further, says the Metzudas Dovid on this pasuk over here. Kivi chashak, ki yoim Hashem hoya v'chashak bi. Hashem says, since that you desired me, lechein atzileu, that's why I'm going to save you. From all those wild animals and the things of this world that are out to get you, I'm going to rescue and save you as a result. Ki yada shemi, you know my name. Hoyel, since v'hu yodeya, that he knows, u'makashmi, and recognizes my name, liyoschar mipanai, they tremble in front of me. That means that the person has an awe of the Ribbono Shel Olam, a recognition that is constant of Hashem. Therefore, says Dovid, says, well, Moshe Rabbeinu over here, that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, now I'm going to take care of you. The more that you know me and you recognize me and you live with my presence and my reality, the greater is going to be that I'm going to be there for you. Yikra'eni, says the next pasuk 15. Yikra'eni v'anehu, when Klal Yisrael calls upon me, then I will answer them. Imoi anoichi b'tzara, famous words. Imoi, I, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Anoichi b'tzar, I am together with you in your suffering. When you call upon me, and you put all of your trust and your faith in me, and you know that I'm the only one, says Hashem, that's going to be able to take care of you and rescue you from whatever troubles you find yourself in. So then you should know, Imoi anoichi b'tzar, I will be together with you in your distress. And therefore, then I will free Klal Yisrael, and I will bring it to honor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us something that is very valuable for every single Jew to know. And that is that no matter what a person is going through in their life, no matter what pain they might be experiencing, no matter what struggles and challenges and difficulties and hardships they have to go through, never think for a moment that you are on your own. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as long as you are calling out to me, and as long as you know that I'm the address that can help you and get you through this ordeal that you are in, Imoi anoichi b'tzar, I am together with you in your suffering and your pain. The Gemara says that daiga b'lev ish, if a person has a daiga, they have a worries in their heart, Yasachenu la'acherim, they should go and tell it over to other people. And the Gemara has a whole question over there. What exactly does it mean? And one of the answers the Gemara says is that just by telling over your pain to somebody else, and knowing that somebody else is listening, and they understand, and they hear you, even if they have no solutions, and they don't know how to help you get through this, but just knowing that there's somebody else that is listening to your pain in your voice, and there to comfort you and empathize with you, that already removes the daigas, removes the worries and the pain that you have, because you know that you're not in it alone. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it's much better by Hashem. When you call out upon me, to me, and you release the worries and the pain and everything that you're going through, and your concern and your stress and your tension and all of that, when you release it and you daven to me, says Hashem, so then, I'm with you. I'm in the trenches with you. I'm feeling your pain. But you know what? Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm much better than a friend, because a friend, they can't help. They could put their arm around you. They could cry together with you. They could try to give you advice, but they have limitations. They're not all knowing, all powerful, all controlling. But I'm Hashem, and I can do anything. And I'm together with you. I feel your pain. I'm experiencing together with you. And since that you've now called to me and you recognize me and you know me and my name and what I can do, I now can lift you up out of this pit of misery that you might be in. I can take you away from the suffering that you're in, the pain that you're in, whatever it is, and I can make it better because I'm with you. Most people don't like to suffer. Meaning, it's very hard sometimes to have, friends have a very hard time sometimes when they see their friends suffering and going through pain. Why would I want to suffer together with you? Meaning, I hear all of your things, and people can't be misyaches. They can't truly get into the pain of another person. Rabbi Kanievsky, Alei Shalom, she died of a heart attack at a relatively young age. She was only in her, if I'm not mistaken, maybe early 70s. And one of the reasons that she died of a heart attack was because any woman that would come to her and pour out their hearts to the Rebbetzin, it was imay anoichi betzara. She automatically felt their pain for real, and it was intense. She had special pills that she would have to take whenever she was in a real emotional plight, because somebody came and just spilled all of their sorrows, all of their worries to her, and she would feel it so hard, her heart would begin to palpitate and skip beats. She had to take pills in order to keep her heart calm. But she died of a heart attack. Why? Because she was imay anoichi betzara. Most of us, when we hear about the tsaros, about the suffering of somebody else, we can't fully be there for that person because it hurts too much. And we don't like to be in pain. And we don't like to hurt. So we listen, and we advise, and we cry a few tears here and there, and we put our arm around the person. It's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. But we're not always imay anoichi betzara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I am with you completely in whatever tsar, whatever suffering, whatever pain you're in. I am right there, says Hashem. And my ma'ila, my strength over anybody else is, I can take you out of it as well. And if you embrace me, and you grasp me, and you have a desire, and you call out to me, and you pray to me, and you believe in me, and you trust in me, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there is no reason in the world why I'm not going to come and help you and remove you from the plight that you find yourself in. Says the Metzudas Dovid on these words, Yikra'eni, call out to me. L'chein kasher yikra elai, therefore, it's a very simple formula, says the Metzudas Dovid. Since that you called out to me, and I will answer you. It's very simple. Tefillah is not so complicated. Prayers don't have to have all these mystical prayers and segulas and everything. It's very simple. You call out to me, and I will answer you. Nothing complicated. We complicate our lives because we don't realize how simple it is to have a relationship with Hashem. We don't realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He's right there. He's ima anoichi betzara. Says the Metzudas Dovid, which is write these words, just keep it in your siddur. You call out to me, I will answer you. That's it. Call out to Hashem. Tell Him what's on your mind. Tell Him what's in your heart. Tell Him what's bothering you. Oh, says Hashem, you're calling out to me, I'm going to answer you. Imay anoichi betzara, I am with Klal Yisrael in their distress. Be'ez boi tsar ba'olam, at the time that tsar, that suffering comes to the world. I will be together with them, to save them and rescue them from that pain and that suffering. When the Jewish people are going through hardships, when an individual is going through pain, says the Rabbi, you called out to me, I'm going to answer you. I'm with you together. I will release them. I will remove you, I'll extract you. I'll take you out of the tsar, out of the suffering. And I will increase your honor and your glory in this world. It's so simple, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You just have to believe that's how simple it is. What do you need? Just daven to Hashem. And as I spoke about on the first days of Yom Tiv, or Shabbos, whichever day it was, this whole story of Siku Shalevsky, the great 88-year-old Rosh Yeshiva that had a child at the age of 88 years old, he davened and davened and davened. He never stopped believing in Hashem. Never, not one day. He believed for 65, 70 years of his life, Hashem is going to listen to my prayers because He's with me. He knows what I'm going through. He knows what I want. Says the Metzudas Dovid, Hashem says, you called upon me, I'll answer you. And part of my answer right away is, I'm going to get down in the trenches together with you. And therefore I'll save you, I'll release you, I'll take you out of whatever it is that you are going through. That is the koyach, that is the power that a Jew has in this world. Oh, just open your mouth. Open, this is why, we just had the parsha of Tazria Mitzar, which is all about Lashon Hara. And the Chavetz Chaim says over, which we've spoken about before, the Chavetz Chaim says that sometimes people daven really good tefillahs, really good prayers, and they feel it in their bones, they feel it coming from their heart, the tears are falling down their face, they know that this was a real prayer where they poured out their heart and they recognize, Hashem, you're the source of everything, you're the one that can save, you're the one that can help, and they do that. And they wonder, if my prayer is so pure, it's so lofty, why is Hashem not answering me? I don't understand. I thought it says over here, if you call out to Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will answer you. If you recognize Hashem and He's the source of everything and He can save you, He's going to save you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is right here. I don't understand. I'm going through all the steps, and still my prayer is not answered. Says the Chavetz Chaim, a person who speaks Lashon Hara, especially on a regular basis, you don't know how much you're damaging your mouth. And then when the words of tefillah, where they have to come out of the same mouth, those words of prayer that you are trying to elevate up to Hashem, that He should see and He should hear everything that you're saying, when they're coming out of the mouth that is damaged because of Lashon Hara, the words of prayer, even though you might feel it in your heart, and you might feel it very close, you might feel very close to Hashem, the words cannot get through your lips, and they cannot make it before Hashem. And he says over such a mashal, that imagine if you have pure water, and you pour it through rusty pipes. When the water comes out at the other end, that water is filthy dirty. You say, what? I don't understand. It was so pure on the other side. How did it get so dirty? And they tell you because the pipes are rusty and filthy, so it dirties the water as well. A person might have the purest kavanas in their heart, the purest feelings of getting close to Hashem. They can even feel it. Their body has goosebumps. They're crying. They have tears. They're talking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and everything looks great. But as those pure tefillahs are coming out of the rusty lips that were busy speaking Lashon Hara, right before you daven Shachris or Mincha, you're busy on the phone with your husband or your friend, and you're speaking, this one, this. Hashem says, you want those prayers to come up? It doesn't work. They're rusty, and they're dirty, and they're filthy, and I can't hear them. So we have to understand the power of tefillah is based upon the power of our mouth, of our lips, and we have to guard our lips from anything, from Lashon Hara, from Nivel Peh, curse words, from speaking negatively about people, from using our voice, all the different things. We have to work on that so that we can keep our lips pure and pristine and clean. And then the words, they go right straight to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And He's telling you it's so simple. Kasher Yikra Elai, when you call out to me, I'm going to answer you. It's just that simple. And the Tehillim concludes over here, Tezayin number 16. Oirech yamim asbiyehu, I will satisfy Klal Yisrael with length of days, ve'arehu b'yeshuasi, and I will show him my salvation. Says Rav Hirsch, I will let Klal Yisrael live through all the times of history. I'll make it the only one among the nations to be immortal. Klal Yisrael is not like any other nation of the world. This is the famous words of Mark Twain, who himself was known to be an anti-Semite. And it bothered him. How did the Jewish people survive everything? And even Mark Twain, the anti-Semite, what did he say about the Jewish people? You can't explain. Every other nation has risen and fallen. And the Jews, smallest in number, most trampled on, most destroyed, most devastated, somehow they're still alive and kicking from every single generation. Says Rav Hirsch, this is the promise that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is making us over here. Oirech yamim asbiyehu, I will satisfy them with the length of days. I'll give Klal Yisrael a nace, a miracle. They will be immortal. They're going to live forever, unlike all the other nations of the world. And it means over here, I will let And like it says in the last part, and let it behold my salvation. I'll let Klal Yisrael behold my salvation. I'll allow Klal Yisrael to live to see my guidance, which endows mankind with Yeshua, true and genuine existence. Meaning Klal Yisrael, they will be the ones that will be around to the end of days. They will be there when Mashiach is going to come. They'll be able to experience the Yeshua, the great salvation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The other nations of the world, they fall by the wayside with billions and billions of people in the world. There's I think they just did some kind of study, there's about 15.8 million Jews that are in the world. 15.8. Of those 15.8 million Jews out of the entire world, they're the ones that Hashem says, I'll take care of them. They'll rise up above everything. They will live eternally, immortally, and they will be the ones that are going to be able to experience the ultimate salvation that I'm going to bring. And therefore, says the Tehillim over here, a Jew has to know how precious, what it means to be a member of our nation, what it means that you can call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, anything that you want. Hashem is listening. Hashem hears everything, and He's together with you in everything that you're going through. He doesn't abandon you and leave you alone. Just we have to recognize, just we have to embrace, just we have to clasp Him the best that we possibly can. And in that zechusim, Yetz Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be there with us, and He's going to save us and rescue us and bring us the things that we need with these angels, this force field of angels all around us. I want to leave you off with the words of Rabbi Gamliel over here, how he explains this idea of Ima Anochi B'Tzarim, together with Klal Yisrael in their suffering. Yesh Levaya Psukim Elu Derech Remez, says Rabbi Gamliel, I can explain this in a remez, in a more mystical type of a way. Yikra'eni v'aneu, call out to me, and I will answer them. When does HaKadosh Baruch Hu listen to the tefillahs, the prayers of a Jew? That's what he says. With him, I am in their suffering. Listen how he explains these words. When a Jew recognizes that whatever suffering they are going through, it's also the suffering of the Shechina, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu feels our pain. The called tefillah, he outside Shechina, and when I'm davening, I'm not davening because I'm in pain. HaKadosh Baruch Hu save me and rescue me and help me out. I'm davening because you are suffering. Why would I want my suffering to cause you any more pain? And then your prayers are going to be accepted gladly by Hashem. If you recognize that besides your suffering, the Shekhinah, the Divine Presence, who's together with you, is suffering, like it says in the Gemara, Rabbi Meir said, at the time that a person is mitztayer, that they are suffering and in pain, what does the Shekhinah say? The Shekhinah says, oh, my head is aching. Oh, my body is aching. Figuratively, obviously. But when you are suffering, says Hashem, I'm suffering as well. When you are in pain, I'm in pain. And like a parent. When a parent sees their child suffer, and it doesn't matter how old that kid is, if you see your 6-month-old suffering, or you see your 20-year-old suffering, or you see your 50-year-old suffering, it doesn't matter. It's my child. And that's my child's in pain. I'm the parent. I birthed that child. I raised that child. There's me inside that child. If they're in pain, I'm in pain. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you're in pain, I'm in pain. When I now recognize that as I pray to Hashem, that He should save me from the tzar that I am in. So my tefillah is not save me because I'm suffering, but rather, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't want you to suffer anymore and you to be in pain. And therefore it behooves you to rescue me and save me and bring me out of this mess, because when I'm not suffering, you won't be suffering anymore either. And he writes and he says, release them and bring them honor. HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzil oisa mitzarasa. HaKadosh Baruch Hu to save the person from his suffering. V'yiser mizon, even more than that. Oirech yomim asbiehu, he will give him, as it says, the length of days, and behold the salvation. B'schuz zu, in the merit of this. Then you'll be able to see the salvation of Hashem. And that means, when I recognize that my pain is really the pain of the Shekhinah, the salvation of Hashem is going to be your salvation as well. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to live in a place where he has to feel the pain of you for such a long time. He's feeling it like your mother and your father, when they feel that pain of you that you're going through, they feel, you know, when that kid comes home from school with that face, and you can see he had such a hard day. You can see he had such a hard day. And you ask him, what's the matter? And he just breaks down and cries. What mother doesn't cry when her son does that? What father doesn't feel bad for his kid when his kid, even the toughest disciplinarian father, says, oh, it's your, he doesn't even say those words right away. He just feels bad for his child. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I feel bad for you. You're suffering, you're in pain. I'm feeling it, says Hashem. And therefore, I daven to the Ribbono Shel Olam that whatever is going on in my life that's negative, that's hurtful, that's painful, Hashem, I know that you're with me, so my tefillah is that you should put an end to the suffering in order that your suffering should end. So really he's saying it over here, your suffering should end, and when that ends, then my suffering will end in the merit of that, because there's no more suffering anymore. We should be Zeichem Yetz Hashem, that as the world continues to spin completely out of control, it's almost, you can't even watch the news because it's like a Hollywood movie. You don't even know what's real anymore. Is it AI? Is it real? Like, what is going on in this world? It's crazy. And there is a lot of pain, and there's a lot of suffering, and there are a lot of people that are going through the trials and tribulations in life. And we're just davening HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please Hashem, Ima Anochi B'tzar, you got to be here together with us. And in the schus of calling out to Hashem, in the schus of recognizing Hashem, in the schus of knowing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that is with us everywhere that we go, and we should feel bad for the Shekhinah that he has to suffer. Can you imagine what's going on in Hashem's world, whatever exactly that means, when he looks down at the entire, not just this country, but every country in the world is completely off the rails. Everything is going ballistic right now. People are suffering, people are starving, people are getting killed, people have troubles, people have issues. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, it's enough. But we have to say it's enough. And when we daven from that place, Hashem says, like these beautiful words of the Metzudas Dovid, L'chein kasher yikra elai, therefore, when they call out to me, and oisai, I will answer them. May Hashem answer all of our tefillahs. May He protect all of our soldiers and our families that are in Eretz Yisrael. May He bring peace to the world the way that we're davening and dreaming that it's going to be, with the ultimate Yeshua, the ultimate salvation and satisfaction in this world. That's what the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu, B'mheira v'yameinu.